everyone. Looks like we're live and ready to get started. Thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to the Sustainability Now All In for Climate Smart 2025 webinar series. My name is Olivia Burns. I'm an environmental specialist with Clark County's Office of Sustainability. We're very excited to have you join us today for our July session, where we'll be focusing on sustainability on campus. Joining us to present is Tara Pike, the Sustainability Coordinator and Recycling Manager at UNLV, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Before I pass it over to Tara to share about UNLV's programs, I will share a few tips to enhance your presentation experience and navigate the website. You can translate the entire meeting page and/or the live audio into another language by clicking the Translate button and selecting your preferred language from the drop-down menu. Closed captions are also available for this presentation. Click the CC button at the bottom right corner of the screen to turn them on. If you'd like to hear audio by phone, you can call in using the 855 number provided above the presentation page. To interact with us during the session, feel free to use the chat box next to the live stream to submit any comments or questions. If a question comes up to mind during the presentation, please drop it at the end. Please drop it in the chat and we will address them at the end. If you experience any difficulties viewing or hearing the presentation, please refresh your browser page. Now I'll pass it over to Tara to get us started. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really looking forward to this. Let me get my presentation up. So again, thank you so much for having me. I am Tara Pike, the Solid Waste and Recycling Manager and Sustainability Coordinator for UNLV. I was talking with Olivia about our cool logo on the left-hand side there. And that logo was created over 30 years ago. We don't use it anymore, but UNLV's Rebel Recycling Program is 30 years old this year as of July 1st. So I wanted to definitely get that in there because the program is like my baby. And then not even a year old yet is our UNLV Rebel Cap or Climate Action Plan. We launched that last year in September, so coming up on a year this September. And we are very proud of having completed that process. So the history of the recycling program, that's 24-year-old me in a dumpster. It was my idea for a recycling program when I was an environmental studies undergrad. It was actually my senior thesis project. And I think the importance of saying that out loud is that students really can be change agents, and they really can redirect the way that the university is going or the processes that they're doing. And so very proud of having started this recycling program. It was started when the Board of Regents approved a $1 per student per semester fee, not including summer fees. And that was the start of the program on July 1st, 1995. We provide very flexible services and on-demand services to the campus. We have scheduled weekly pickups of materials from the main campus as well as some of the off-site locations like Shadow Lane campus, the Desert Research Institute. If any departments need a special pickup, they can just contact me and we put it on our list and we get it within 24 hours. When professors retire or offices move, or just during the end of the fiscal year purge, we provide cleanout bins and confidential shredding bins. We do special event recyclings. So whenever there's like Premiere or Festival of Communities on campus, we provide recycling bins. One of the crown jewels, I think, of our program is the drive up and drop off. I have a picture of that here in a minute, so I will show you later. And then, of course, we also do things in the residence halls because they do obviously live on campus and need services. So we have a move-in, move-out program. We also have a walk up and drop off recycling program for them. And then lastly, I joined the Southern Nevada Christmas Tree Recycling Committee in 1998, and I'm currently the chairperson of it. And we put on with the help of lots of governmental agencies and non-governmental agencies and businesses in the Valley, the Christmas tree recycling program, and then also we divert pumpkins for recycling. So the recycling program collects same materials that are collected at your curbside program. We also have a heavy focus on cardboard diversion. We do food waste recycling, and we started that in May 2009. We collect a lot of reusable items, which I have a slide about later. We do toner cartridges. We divert e-waste, tires, pallets. We just started diverting polystyrene, which is going to come in handy during move-in because all of those students, there's about 1,500 of them, go out and buy new stuff, and obviously it's all packed in a cardboard box with styrofoam. And then, of course, Christmas trees and pumpkins. This is our breakdown from last year. So we did 162 tons of cardboard. Our mixed recycling is 140. I will note that is going down, and that is as things become digital and people are printing less. You want that number to go down because there's less wasted paper. Scrap metal fluctuates every year. We did 108 last year. Food waste is averaging about between 166 tons per year and 185 tons per year. We also diverted 340 tons of landscape waste, and our concrete diversion was 335.5 tons. So this is just a snapshot of some of the things that we divert. Overall, we diverted 648.8 tons of regular recycling. So that doesn't include the concrete. When you include the concrete, it's 984 tons. I like to show both numbers because obviously concrete is heavy, so it inflates the number, and I like to be honest about what we're diverting. You can see the dip during COVID, and you can see where we have fluctuations. That big number of, like, see, our 905 during our 20th anniversary. We were trying to get to 1,000, and that does obviously the concrete started in 2021. So, or at least the tracking of the concrete started in 2021. We run this whole program with a very small staff. We have me, 4 classified people, 5 student workers. That's down from 10 in the heyday of the 90s and the 2000s. And we have 1 temporary part-time person. So a very small crew to handle all of this material from the entire campus. This is our drive up and drop off. This is open 24/7, 365 days a year. You are welcome to use it anytime. It was started in October 1998 within the Nevada Division of Environmental Protection grant. And we actually just got one recently to upgrade it, make it look better. So this is the picture after we got it all painted and new signs. So we collect glass in the left-hand dumpsters, commingled materials like what you would put in your curbside program in the center, and then cardboard in the right-hand bigger dumpsters. This program is important because a lot of faculty, staff, and students live in apartments or condominiums that do not have access to the curbside recycling program. We empty these almost daily, at least the blue ones and the cardboard ones. Please spread the word on this if people are looking for a place to recycle. This is the only one of its kind in the Valley. You can take your materials to the transfer station in Henderson. However, you have to stand, wait in that very long car line of people using the transfer station for just landfilling materials. So the drive up and drop off is one of the things I'm more proud of in terms of the recycling program. This is our in-vessel composter. I'm sad to say that it's still broken. The bin on the left is a mixer, and I just like to still point this out because we got this in-vessel composter so we could have zero waste events on campus, so that we could put compostable paper products in there like cups, plates, utensils, as well as coffee grounds and just items like that. So we're looking forward to having it fixed and trying to do some zero waste programming on campus in terms of events, and then even hopefully transitioning, say, a classroom building to a collection of organic material in the hallway. That would be part of our All in the Hall program, which I have a slide about. Um, Move out in the residence halls. This is what we set up on every floor. Um, the students can donate anything they don't want, because a lot of students, when they move out, they're moving back home on an airplane, or they can't fit everything in their vehicle. And so we collect these items. We have the larger box for reusable things like clothing, towels, and things like that, stuffed animals, home decor. The center box is for unused toiletries and hygiene products, as well as cleaning supplies. And then the last little bin is for food waste. We do collect a lot of food waste, to be honest. And that's non-perishable food that we can donate. We do collect all year round. So this bin is on the first floor of every complex all year round. So they don't have to wait until move out to donate. And so we collect from these bins every Monday and Friday. And we do collect quite a bit of materials throughout the year from the residence halls. We also have a walk up and drop off program there. So in each of their dumpster areas, when they take out their landfill materials, they can also recycle their traditional recyclables. This is the All in the Hall program. Again, this was a grant we got from the Nevada Division of Environmental Protection to test this out. Our goals were to increase recycling by 74%, decrease contamination by 64%, and then to also save the custodial crew time. The idea is that these bins that you see there on the left are in the hallways, and we took out all the garbage cans out of the classrooms. So if you have a landfill item or you have a recycling item, you have to take it with you out into the hallway. And of course, we were concerned about litter being left in the rooms, because people didn't want to do that, but we did not see a significant increase in litter, and overall the custodial team loves this program. So I am hoping to expand it out into other parts of the campus, and then eventually, when our in-vessel composter is fixed, I would like to add a green organic waste bin to make it a trio and test out a zero waste building. So you can see in the pre-audit, before we put the bins in, there was about 11 pounds of recyclable material on average in the landfill. And we were using about 38 can liners per day. So this was the signage and what we accept. You can see that we decreased landfill waste by 48%. I think one of the really great things is that accuracy for recycling increased. People were recycling more correctly with the new bins. And then, because we did have some recycling bins already in the hallway, but they were only recycle bins and not a station, with a landfill bin and a recycle bin. But one of the other great things is we reduced the bag usage by 61%. So on average, after this program was introduced, we were only using 16 and a half on average can liners per night. And so that could be a very significant savings for the campus in terms of purchasing. We have a lot of ways to try to reduce waste. So we have hydration stations on campus. We have well over 100 of these on campus, and every new building gets a hydration station, at least on every floor, sometimes multiple on floors. And this is just in an effort to reduce the amount of students that have to purchase bottled water to hydrate. Instead, they can just refill their reusable washable bottles. And in order to encourage that, we have a Fill It Forward program. This is an app where people can download it and they can scan to win prizes. So it incentivizes refilling. And the idea is to help move refilling and reusing from your conscious memory to your subconscious so that it just becomes something that you do and identify with. And so we give out weekly, monthly, and semester prizes for people through the Fill It Forward program, which is an app that anybody can pay to utilize, and we have found that it's very popular. We pre-COVID had quite a robust program. COVID did kind of take it out, and we are reviving it now. And so I think that it's a great way to incentivize waste reduction. This is another new app that we just got approval to use. It's called Omarche, and it is basically only if you have to have an at unlv.edu email or a at unlv.nevada.edu email to join the Omarche app. It's basically an online marketplace for faculty, staff, and students to upload items that they would like to find new homes for. You can post them for free, or you can post them for a price, and you can then exchange your item while you're on campus. And you're like, oh, that sounds like Facebook Marketplace, or that sounds like Craigslist. And that is absolutely true. However, it is exclusive to UNLV. Everybody on the app will be from UNLV. So we just got approval for this, and we are just going to get started promoting it in the fall semester. So hopefully it catches on, and I can, get new homes for a lot of the stuff I collect from move out, and try to create a circular economy here on campus regarding reusable items. We do have solar arrays on campus. This is a great picture of our one on our LEED Gold building, which is the Greenspun Hall, and you can see how much it generates. We have two other LEED Silver buildings, that being the Science and Engineering Building, or SEB, and the new Hospitality Building, or Hotel College Building, HOS. Both of those are LEED Silver as well. So, oops. This is our largest solar array. This is on top of the MPE roof. It is 350 PV unit. 350K unit. In total, UNLV can generate 1.4 megawatts of capacity on 14 arrays. We do have a dashboard. So this is the picture of the dashboard I took right before now. So you can always go and check it out and see how we're doing it on all of our arrays. We have electric charging stations on campus. Right now we have 24 charging stations that provide people the ability to charge in 48 spaces. It's open all year round. Right now they are first come, first served basis. You are only allowed to charge for 4 hours, and then you have to move your car or you're going to get a ticket. They did just today launch a UNLV official email stating that you will have to pay $15 per month in order to utilize the stations for free. So no per kilowatt charge between I think it's 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then after 7 p.m. there will be a charge, and then on weekends. So that just came out today. And we are adding more EV stations because there are a lot more electric vehicles on campus. And sometimes you show up and you cannot find a space to plug your car in. This is our campus community garden. We have 41 gardening beds. The motto for the campus community garden is growing campus community, and each bed is reservable by a group. So you cannot be outside of campus. You have to be a member of the campus community is what I wanted to say. So you can be a registered student organization, a department. You can just even be a group of students or a group of faculty staff, and then you have access to the gardening bed all year, and you grow whatever you want. I mean, we have some some rules, but you grow what you want and you harvest it yourself and use it yourself. We do have volunteer opportunities for all the campus community garden members, and that is also open to anyone that wants to help to, do weeding in the garden or maintenance or anything like that. So it's just a great space for people to meet up. And even study or eat their lunch at their bed. It's a nice green space. And this, I want to say, started and being planned in right before COVID. Well, it started being planned in 2008, but then the recession happened, and then we picked it back up. I want to say in like 2014. Yes, in 2014, and then I think we got it almost completed by 2015. So it's going probably on its 10-year anniversary. We do have an intern who manages that. She is a landscape architecture major, so it's working really well into her service learning and will look great on her resume. We did, like I said, launch our climate action plan, our Rebel Cap, and we did that in with a consultant. So we did have some help there to get that done. The planning process was pretty robust. We had feedback opportunities for faculty, staff, students, alumni, and community members. We have 7 topical working groups now, which are led by UNLV faculty and staff, but they are open for anyone to join. So you do not have to be a member of the campus community to join a working group. The plan was approved by the university, and the idea is that we would try to be carbon neutral by 2057, which is UNLV's 100th anniversary. So we're calling it 100 by 100. Hopefully we make faster progress than that, but that is kind of our cool tagline goal. And the recommendations cover all parts of the campus life, university life. So we have operations, academics, and research in there. It was officially launched on September 13th, 2024. So we are coming up on a 1-year anniversary for it. There was 4 core team members on the planning. We had 17 sustainability task force members. Like I said, we have 7 topical working groups that are still meeting monthly. And then we have a total of 64 working group members between all 7 of those working groups. So we also had over 400 survey responses, which is the most that this consultant had ever seen on a campus climate action planning process. We also had 140 public comments once we launched the climate action plan for feedback. This is the charge. Obviously, we're trying to reduce or eliminate emissions. We're trying to make sure that sustainability and working on reducing greenhouse gases is a top and lasting priority for UNLV. It is part of our top tier 2.0 now. We want to make sure that leaderships and people who get hired at UNLV are helping with our goal of working on the climate crisis. And then, of course, we're leveraging partnerships as much as we can because we obviously have to do this together. And then we have embedded action where we are trying to be actionable, but also realistic and be cognizant of the financial aspects of a climate action plan. This is a new thing. We were selected to be part of the Carnegie elective classification for sustainability. Obviously, UNLV is an R1 institution, and that is a Carnegie classification. They have one other elective classification, which is campus community engagement, which UNLV has achieved, and we are a Carnegie campus community classified campus. So we're hoping that at the end of this pilot that we will also be a classified for sustainability. We are part of a pilot program with 23 other campuses, and the application will open up to universities and colleges outside of the pilot program starting, I think, at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So we will know if we are actually classified in 2026. The application is due in 2025. I think in 2026, this might make a very good webinar for this series. So we are working very hard on this right now, and hopeful that we get classified. After we are done doing the Carnegie classification pilot program, we are going to start working on ASHE STARS. ASHE is the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education, and they have a program called STARS, which is the Sustainability Tracking Assessment and Rating System. It's different than the Carnegie program in that you answer this very long survey and you are awarded points. And then the points add up to whether you are a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum institution. We have done this ASHE Stars 2 times, and we have gotten silver both times. Of course, we would like to advance into the being awarded a gold, and so that is something that we hope. If we get silver again, that all that does is that tells us that we have to keep working harder to get to gold. I believe there are just over 30 platinum institutions. I could be wrong, but back when stars came out, there was only one institution that was platinum, and then slowly but surely institutions worked their way up using the guidance of stars to become gold and then platinum. The same thing can happen with the Carnegie program in that during the Carnegie program, just like the STARS program, you're not competing against anybody else but yourself. You're just trying to improve what you're doing year after year after year. We are not comparing or competing against any other institution, just ourselves. So STARS will be next that we start working on to get our third ranking. And then this is my contact information if you want to reach out to me and have questions outside of the question period we're about to do for the next 5 minutes. So please write that down and I will stop sharing my screen. If I can figure out how to do that. Oh, there we go. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you
yeah.
so much for presenting and sharing all the exciting the Rebel Recycling journey and sustainability programs. It's very inspiring and valuable to all of us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now let me pull up some audience questions. All right, first question is, what programs are in place to minimize food waste from dining facilities?
So the our contractor for dining facilities is Aramark, and they use I think it's called what FitPath. They do have a program over there. They run it. Obviously, I am not part of that. And they have reduced their food waste because obviously I track the food waste. So I know that they have been reducing food waste at the source. My program interacts with them in that we do something called Weigh the Waste, and we try to do it like around America Recycles Day and Earth Month, where we don't shame people for bringing a plate full of food up, but we do loudly congratulate the ones that come up with like, an empty or almost empty plate. We have like a little guess how much we're going to collect in this 2 hour period, and then they get a prize. The one that gets the closest gets a prize. And I have had feedback that that program does help people think about taking only what they need and the fact that they can go back and get more if they want. Um, and the other thing I didn't mention, I can't believe I didn't mention this, but we just launched something called Topanga at the UNLV Dining Commons, which is like a buffet style eatery, in that every to-go container and to-go fountain cup is reusable to go. So you scan it out and then you take it, eat, drink, and the app, like a library, book tracks you have those two things, and you have to return them, and then it's put through the industrial dishwasher, and you get new, fresh, clean, reusable to go containers. Very proud of that. That was something I was pushing very hard for a number of years. And so that has reduced um, uh, single use disposable to go waste on campus.
That's wonderful. Awesome. Glad that is rolled out for the students or faculty using that area. That's great.
And it's called Lean Path. Lean Path is what it's called, is the platform they use to track food waste and try to minimize it at the source.
Amazing. Next question is, do you need any volunteers at UNLV drive up, drop off, or any of the other recycling initiatives you mentioned?
Funny is that at the recycling center, we do use court-ordered community service people. So these are people that communities get community service through the courts to help us sort and process materials. We try very, very hard not to send contaminated materials in our compactor to the material recovery facility. But we do have enough of them sorting through the quote unquote garbage. The drive up and drop off is not staffed in that nobody stands there and helps with that. During the collection of pumpkins, we can always use help diverting the pumpkins. So that is always just right after Halloween. Um, we go to pumpkin patches and we get as all the pumpkins that we can from seasonal adventures pumpkin patches. So that's an opportunity for sure. And then, of course, reach out to me because we can always talk about things that you might be able to help with remotely, like education, or we used to have a social media student and we don't anymore. I'm trying to get that back. So, helping with stuff like that. If you want to be involved, I will definitely find a way for you to help us. I love volunteers, especially the volunteers for volunteering's sake.
Great, awesome, thank you. And last question is, what future waste reduction or sustainability initiatives are being planned to achieve those certifications you mentioned?
I am very focused on trying to pilot a zero waste building. So zero waste is when you divert 90% to either recycling or composting. And only 10% goes to the landfill. And so I want to pick a building and I want to work really hard to try to make it a zero waste building, which would mean that we would have to have organic waste collection bins in all the hallways. Probably all in the hall style classroom settings for offices as well, meaning that the office occupants would have to be in charge of their own waste to get it to the hallway instead of having just convenient pickup in their office. It would be a lot of education to get people to understand what zero waste is, get them to contact me when they have questions about, can I recycle this? How can I reduce that? So I would like to get a zero waste policy for the campus, and I would like to get there by piloting in a building. Another big thing that has to happen before we could be a zero waste campus, which is again diverting 90% of what is generated on the campus to either recycling or composting, is we will have to be able to weigh our landfill material, which we do not yet have. So the number one recommendation that we have in the waste management working group for the Rebel Cap is that we need a truck scale to get an idea of how much waste is leaving the campus, because UNLV is collected on a route, which means they show up with waste in their inside of their truck and they leave with our waste and head to more places to pick up more waste. So there's no way to know what we are disposing of in landfill, which makes it very hard to calculate a diversion rate. We did try sensors in the dumpsters. And they were on for a week, and then either they were ripped off and stolen by, I don't know, a Hulk type Marvel creature, or they were ripped off by the trash just snagging on it. And then I don't know, but the sensors just were wasted, and that's very unfortunate. So zero waste building leading to zero waste policy is really what I would like to see in the next 4 years.
That's great. A lot of progress being made at UNLV. So a special sincere thank you to you and your team for moving that progress along. And that is it for today's question. So thank you everyone for tuning in today. If you'd like to learn more, I know Tara shared her information. You could visit their website. You could visit our website, allinclarkcounty.com. We do have links to UNLV Drive Up and Drop Off as well listed there. Follow us on social media, stay updated on different programs and events and volunteer opportunities in the future. And that being said, it concludes today's webinar, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.